Look at you. Yeah, don't turn away now. You felt that, didn't you? That little twist in your chest the second I said it. Good. Because you already know exactly which moment I'm talking about. That one moment, the one you keep trying to bury under noise, under laughter, under fake peace. The one you swear was nothing but your mind. Your mind keeps dragging it back out like a corpse that refuses to stay dead. You thought you escaped it. You thought time would dissolve it. You thought silence would suffocate it. But here's the joke. It didn't disappear. It evolved. That moment didn't die. It learned how to watch. Every time you're alone, it's there. Every time the room gets quiet, it leans closer. Every time you try to become something better, it whispers, "Don't forget what you really are." And you hate that voice, don't you? Because it doesn't sound like a stranger. It sounds like you. That's the part nobody warns you about. You don't have one self. You never did. There's the version of you that smiles, that helps, that pretends to be clean. The version that people trust. The version that says, "I'm a good person." And then there's the other one. The one born in that moment. The one that made the decision you can't undo. The one that didn't hesitate. The one that didn't care. The one that proved something dangerous. You are not who you think you are. You are who you become under pressure. And that moment, that was your reveal. You see, most people go their whole lives hiding behind masks, so convincing they start believing them. But you slipped just once, just long enough to see behind the curtain. And now, you can't unsee it. That's why it won't leave you alone. It's not haunting you. It's reminding you that inside the saint, there's a psychopath waiting for permission. Inside the calm, there's chaos sharpening its teeth. Inside the angel, there's a demon smiling patiently. And the worst part, you didn't hate that version of yourself. No, be honest, for a split second, you felt powerful, didn't you? That raw, unfiltered moment where you weren't asking for approval, you weren't filtering your thoughts, you weren't playing nice. You just acted. No fear, no hesitation, no morality slowing you down, just pure, dangerous clarity. And now you're stuck in a paradox, because you're terrified of that version of yourself. But you miss it. You hate what you did. But part of you respects the version of you who had the guts to do it. That's the tension that's tearing you apart. That's why you can't sleep sometimes. That's why your mind loops it like a broken film. That's why even when everything is fine, you feel like something inside you is still unfinished. Because that moment wasn't a mistake. It was a door, and you stepped through it. Just for a second. But that was enough. Now you know what's on the other side. Most people spend their lives trying to delete that moment. Trying to erase it, deny it, rewrite it. But you're smarter than that. Because deep down, you already feel the truth clawing its way up. You don't need to delete it. You need to understand it. That moment is not your weakness. It's your blueprint. It showed you exactly where your limits break. Exactly what triggers your transformation. Exactly how far you're willing to go when the mask cracks. And once you understand that, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability is power. Because now you're not just the good version anymore. You're not just the safe version. You are both. You are the calm and the storm, the mercy and the brutality, the one who can build and the one who can destroy, and nobody knows which one they're going to get. That's what makes you dangerous. That's what makes you impossible to control. That's what makes people uneasy around you without even knowing why. Because something in them recognizes something in you. Something real, something unfiltered, something they're too afraid to face in themselves. So that moment you wish you could delete, stop running from it. Turn around, look at it, let it stare at you. Because it's not your enemy, it's your reflection. It's the version of you that refuses to lie. The version that says, this is who you can be, if you stop pretending. And once you stop pretending, once you stop dividing yourself into good and bad, once you accept that you are both, you stop being fragile. You stop being predictable. You stop being weak. You become something else entirely. Something people can't categorize. Something people can't manipulate. Something people can't ignore. So go ahead. Keep replaying that moment. Not with guilt, not with shame, but with awareness. Because every time it plays, you're not being haunted. You're being trained. And one day, that same moment that once broke your peace will become the exact reason nobody ever dares to test you again. And here's where it gets uncomfortable for you. Because now you're starting to realize something you weren't supposed to notice. That moment you keep replaying, it didn't just reveal you, it selected you. Yeah, sit with that. Out of all the polished, predictable, harmless versions of people walking around pretending to be good, you were the one who cracked. You were the one who saw what's underneath. You were the one who crossed that invisible line and lived to remember it. That's not normal. That's not accidental. That's a fracture in reality that most people never experience because they're too busy obeying the script. But you slipped off script, and now you can't go back. That's why the old version of you feels fake now. The conversations feel shallow. The smiles feel rehearsed. The normal life feels like a costume that doesn't quite fit anymore. Because once you've seen the truth, once you've seen what you're capable of, you can't unknow it. And here's the part that really messes with your head. You keep asking yourself, was that the real me? Or was this the real me? Wrong question. They're both real. That's the game. That's the design. You're not one identity. You are a controlled contradiction, a walking paradox, a balance between restraint and eruption. And the moment you stop trying to pick a side, that's when everything shifts. Because now you're not reacting anymore. You're choosing. You can be calm when it benefits you. You can be ruthless when it's necessary. You can smile while calculating 10 steps ahead. You can let people underestimate you while you quietly rewrite the entire board. That's evolution, not the soft, motivational nonsense they feed you, but real, uncomfortable, surgical evolution, forged in the exact moment you thought broke you. Do you see it now? That memory you tried to delete is the most honest teacher you've ever had. It didn't sugarcoat anything. It didn't protect your ego. It didn't lie to keep you comfortable. It showed you your edge. And once you know your edge, you can weaponize it. Because now, when pressure hits again, and it will, you won't freeze. You won't panic. You won't sit there pretending you're something you're not. You'll recognize the shift. You'll feel that same energy rise. But this time, you'll control it. That's the difference between who you were in that moment and who you're becoming now. Before, it was raw, uncontrolled, explosive. Now, it's precise, intentional, lethal in silence. And that's why the memory keeps watching you, not to punish you, not to shame you, but to make sure you don't waste what it gave you. Because if you ignore it, if you numb it. If you bury it again, you go back to being predictable, safe, forgettable, and you know that's not who you are anymore. So here's the final truth you've been avoiding. That moment didn't ruin you. It initiated you. It stripped away the illusion of who you thought you had to be and introduced you to who you actually are. Not perfect, not pure, but powerful, balanced on a knife's edge between creation and destruction. So the next time it creeps in at night, the next time your chest tightens, the next time your mind replays it like a curse, don't flinch, don't run, don't look away, stare right back at it. Let it see that you're not the same person who experienced it. Let it see that you've learned. Let it see that you've integrated the chaos instead of fearing it. Because the moment it realizes you're no longer trying to delete it, that's when it stops haunting you and starts obeying you. And when that happens, you don't just move on, you move differently, quieter, sharper, unpredictable in ways that make people hesitate before even thinking of crossing you, because they can feel it. That there's something behind your eyes now, something that's been tested, something that's seen the edge and came back stronger. So no, you don't get to delete that moment. You were never supposed to. You were supposed to become the kind of person who doesn't need to erase the past, because you've turned it into a weapon no one else can see coming.